Why do some women have a magnetic pull that makes men obsessed? It's not just about beauty or charm. There's something deeper at play. Carl Jung, the legendary psychologist, uncovered the hidden force behind this attraction. And today, we're revealing the number one female trait that triggers an almost addictive devotion in men. This isn't manipulation, it's psychology. Carl Jung introduced a groundbreaking idea. Every man carries within him an unconscious feminine side, the anima. This inner image shapes what he finds irresistibly captivating in a woman. But not all traits are created equal. Some awaken a man's deepest longings, creating an emotional pull that goes beyond logic. So what is that one trait that aligns perfectly with a man's anima, making him not just interested, but truly addicted? That's exactly what we're exploring today. What makes a woman unforgettable to a man? It's not her appearance alone, nor is it simply charm or wit, though these may catch his attention initially. The trait that truly captivates a man on the deepest level, the one that lingers in his mind and heart long after she's gone, is emotional depth. This goes far beyond surface-level attraction. A woman with emotional depth carries an aura of mystery, an intuitive understanding of life's complexities, and a soulful presence that resonates with something primal within a man. Carl Jung called this the anima, the unconscious feminine force inside every man that shapes his deepest desires, fears, and fascinations. When a woman embodies qualities that mirror a man's anima, she doesn't just interest him, she haunts him. Jung believed that men are unconsciously searching for women who reflect the hidden, often unexplored, aspects of their own psyche. The anima is not just a passive ideal. It's dynamic, ever-shifting, and rich with contradiction. It's both nurturing and elusive, comforting yet unpredictable. This is why men are drawn to women who are emotionally layered, those who can be warm and open one moment, yet intriguingly enigmatic the next. Superficial beauty may catch a man's eye, but it's emotional depth that holds his soul. A woman who can make him feel deeply understood, while still leaving room for wonder, awakens something in him that he can't easily walk away from. This explains why some men become almost addicted to certain women, even when logic tells them otherwise. It's not about manipulation or playing games. It's about a woman's ability to embody the full spectrum of the feminine essence. She isn't just cheerful or agreeable all the time. She has shadows, passions, and a mind that refuses to be fully deciphered. This creates a magnetic pull because the anima is not one-dimensional. It thrives on depth. A woman who is emotionally attuned, who can engage in conversations that stir a man's intellect and soul, who can challenge him while still making him feel seen. This is the kind of woman who lingers in his thoughts long after she's gone. Consider the difference between a woman who is merely attractive and one who possesses this depth. The first might inspire fleeting desire, but the second inspires something far more powerful, longing. Longing is what keeps a man coming back, what makes him obsessed with unraveling her, what makes her irreplaceable in his mind. This is the essence of the anima at work. It's not just about who she is, but about who she allows him to glimpse within himself. A woman of emotional depth doesn't just love a man, she awakens him. And that is the secret behind the addiction. This powerful attraction goes beyond conscious choice. It's rooted in something far more primal. At its core, a man's fixation on a woman of emotional depth stems from psychological projection. Jung revealed that men unconsciously transfer their inner ideal of the feminine, their anima, onto real women who mirror its qualities. When a woman embodies depth, mystery, and soulful complexity, she becomes a living reflection of a man's most profound unconscious longings. He isn't just drawn to her. He's enchanted by the version of himself that she evokes. This projection is so potent precisely because it feels like destiny, as if she was made for him, when in truth, She has simply awakened what was already hidden within him all along. What makes this dynamic so intoxicating is the unfinished effect, the sense that no matter how much a man learns about her, there's always more to discover. Jung called this the eternal feminine, a force that forever eludes full comprehension. A woman of emotional depth doesn't lay herself bare all at once. She reveals herself in layers, like a story that unfolds slowly. This tantalizing incompleteness keeps a man engaged, not because she withholds, but because she contains multitudes. He might grasp her intellect today, her passion tomorrow, but her essence remains just out of reach, not by design, but by nature. This is why superficial connections fade, while those steeped in depth grow stronger with time. The unknown compels him forward, turning fascination into something closer to devotion. But is this addiction, or is it love? The distinction matters. Addiction arises from unconscious craving, a hunger to possess what feels like a missing piece of the self. A man under the spell of the anima may mistake intensity for intimacy, obsession for connection. Love, in its purest form, requires seeing the other as they truly are, not just as a vessel for projection. Yet the two aren't mutually exclusive. The initial addiction can mature into love when a man learns to separate his projections from the real woman before him. The irony? It's often her very depth, the trait that first ensnared him, that guides him toward this awakening. By refusing to be reduced to a fantasy, she challenges him to love more deeply, beyond the illusions of his own psyche. History and myth are filled with examples of this dynamic. Consider Helen of Troy, whose allure launched 1,000 ships, not merely because of her beauty, but because she symbolized the unattainable, the eternal feminine that men would war to possess. In literature, Gatsby's obsession with Daisy mirrors this same hunger. She represents not just a woman, but his own idealized vision of success, love, and redemption. Modern relationships, too, play out this ancient script. The woman who lingers in a man's mind for years, not because she was perfect, but because she was real, flawed, complex, and utterly herself, proves that emotional depth transcends time. These stories endure because they speak to a universal truth. The human heart is wired to seek what it cannot fully grasp. And when a woman embodies that mystery, she becomes unforgettable. The power of emotional depth isn't about performing femininity or following prescribed rules. It springs from a woman's willingness to explore and honor her authentic self. Authenticity is the foundation. Without it, any attempt at depth becomes a performance that eventually crumbles under scrutiny. This means rejecting the temptation to play games or mold oneself into what might seem desirable in the moment. A woman who is truly deep doesn't manipulate interest by withholding affection or feigning indifference. She captivates naturally because she's fully present in her emotions, unafraid to be vulnerable when moved, or reserved when introspection calls. Her power lies in her refusal to be anything other than who she is, even when that defies expectations. Developing emotional intelligence is what transforms raw authenticity into something that deeply connects with others. This means cultivating the ability to navigate not just one's own emotions, but to perceive and resonate with the emotional undercurrents in those around her. A woman with this skill doesn't merely react, she responds with intention. She can sit with a man's silence and understand its nuances, or sense when to offer comfort versus when to challenge his perspectives. This emotional attunement creates a rare sense of being truly seen, something far more intoxicating than surface-level charm. It's not about being perpetually serene or agreeable, but about having the courage to engage with the full spectrum of human emotion, her own and others, without flinching. Jung's concept of the anima's dual nature, the interplay between mystery and warmth, offers a blueprint for balancing these qualities. Depth doesn't mean being perpetually enigmatic or emotionally unavailable. Rather, it's the art of revealing oneself in layers. A woman might share her thoughts freely while still maintaining a rich inner life that isn't immediately apparent. She's warm enough to create connection, yet substantial enough to sustain curiosity. This balance prevents her from becoming either too predictable, which breeds complacency, or too distant, which breeds frustration. The key is that her mystery isn't manufactured. It's the natural result of a mind and spirit that are continually evolving, ensuring there's always something new to discover in her presence. However, this path demands vigilance against the shadow side of such power. Toxic manipulation masquerading as depth, playing hot and cold to keep someone off balance, or feigning complexity as a control tactic, ultimately backfires. These strategies may create temporary obsession, but they erode trust and prevent genuine connection. Real depth can't be faked. It requires the hard work of self-examination and emotional honesty. The women who linger in hearts and minds aren't those who calculated every move, but those who dared to be fully human, flawed, growing, and irresistibly real. Their magnetism comes not from a desire to control, but from the quiet confidence of having nothing to prove. In embracing this, a woman becomes not just an object of fascination, but a catalyst for transformation, both in herself and in those fortunate enough to truly know her. At the heart of this exploration lies a profound truth. The trait that creates lasting fascination goes far beyond surface attraction. Emotional depth, that rare combination of authenticity, intuition, and soulful complexity, is what truly captivates a man at the deepest level. As Carl Jung revealed through his concept of the anima, this power isn't about manipulation or playing roles. It's about embodying the full spectrum of the feminine essence in a way that resonates with the unconscious longings within every man. When a woman embraces her genuine depth, with all its shadows, light, and unapologetic truth, she becomes more than just a partner. She becomes a mirror reflecting a man's own unexplored potential. So what do you think? Does this idea of emotional depth align with your experiences? Have you noticed how certain connections leave an indelible mark while others fade? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective on this fascinating aspect of human attraction. And if this exploration of psychology and relationships resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content that delves into the hidden forces shaping our hearts and minds. Until next time, remember, the most magnetic force in the world will always be the courage to be authentically, unshakably yourself.